Good day to you. Thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Bill Murray, and I'm by day I work with big companies to help drive innovation within them, and by night and by my free time, I work with entrepreneurs and startups around the world to help them to solve problems and drive value to their customers. In a real quick video today, we're going to talk about customer personas. Um, Customer personas is all about focusing on real people with real problems. And those people are going to help you validate your value proposition fast as possible and as cheaply as possible for you. So let's jump in. So for entrepreneurs, let's define personas and why they're important. The most important question for an entrepreneur isn't what, as in the thing that we want to build. It's who is it that we're building for, and that all begins with a customer with a problem that they're either unwilling or unable to solve on their own. Now, even if you already have an idea, and I know many entrepreneurs start with an idea, I think I want to build this thing, and ideas are okay, but the problem is if it's coming from us, often there can be a disconnect with the person who actually we're trying to drive value to. So even if you already have an idea, just try to keep that idea, but step back a little bit and first define the problem. And it might look like meal planning is a challenge for some people, or transportation in a certain part of the city is a challenge, or people have a hard time meeting people in an area or in an organization. This definition, though, should come from personal observation and consumer data. It shouldn't be something you believe is happening. It's be something that you're seeing happening. You're seeing behaviors. You're seeing people doing things as a result of the problem. You're seeing impacts. And like your theory of this customer problem, your customer persona is going to change and or expand as you learn. Your initial persona is simply a place to start in that learning journey. It's a stake in the ground. Don't fall in love with your first customer persona or your first problem definition, problem theory, because as you learn, you're going to learn what you initially thought was going on actually wasn't, or maybe not in the way you thought. So be ready to be very flexible, because the more flexible you are, the more you can use these tools of problem definition and customer persona to propel you forward faster. And speed, of course, is the name of the game in entrepreneurialism, because you have a limited runway, whether it's time, dollars, or something else. You don't have forever. So let's talk about the what of personas. They're a tool used by people who are building new products, or they're trying to connect existing products to consumers in their marketplace. They're created to clarify and source target customers so that we can build and maintain products that are relative to those customers in the context of their needs in that everyday life. In my experience, working on teams, building products, and coaching teams live and die by being able to source new customers to test their product prototypes on. If you don't have a steady flow of customers to get that data from, you're going to struggle and your product is going to stall. Your product development will stall. You're not going to see success, or you may end up building something without the right data, and you'll either overbuild the right thing or more likely to build the wrong thing. So that customer persona is going to help you identify the people that you want to target in the most advantageous moments to target them with your value proposition. Understanding that customer, sometimes better than they understand themselves, is key to this. Being able to target the right person at the right time shows that you understand that customer and that you can build for that moment. And that's what you're trying to do. Most importantly, in some quarters of the world, and sometimes maybe in larger organizations where we're using sort of macro market market research, it's important for the small entrepreneur, the person who's building customers in ones and tens and 20s at a time. Your customer persona is not an amalgamation of multiple customers that you put together and stir in a pot and say, this is what my ideal customer is. No, your customer persona has to be an actual person that you have met that has all of these characteristics and that this description describes perfectly. Because that early adopter customer is the one you're going to need to go find out more of. And if you develop a customer persona that doesn't actually describe a single person, then maybe that person doesn't actually exist. And at this point in the game, you have to have someone that exists, because you have to be able to go to that person, maybe even have that person help you find other people like them. So let's build one. Best way to do it is use the 5 W's and H. Just like any good reporter for a newspaper or a television station, they're going to ask these key questions, the 5 W's and H. Number one, who? In this case, who is your customer? But not just demographics. Stop thinking in terms of male and female, younger and older, and maybe different types of backgrounds. Yeah, those things may become important later on, maybe as you narrow, but it's psychographics, not demographics, that will make or break you at this point. It's what's going on in the person's mind. What do they identify as? What are the things that are keeping them up at night? What are their problems? And what are they desperately trying to solve for? And what will they do just about anything to get it solved? Now, in addition to those customers, it's important for you to, as you're talking to different people, understand that you may identify some people that are onlookers or stakeholders or people that are impacted when a customer does solve their problem. Could be in a bad or a good way. Categorize those people as well. Understand how they work in the overall ecosystem, in that orbit around your customer who sits in the middle. Now let's answer the what. What is the problem that the customer is out to solve? This is your theory of customer value. What is it they're trying to solve, and what are they willing to do to get there? Make sure it's in their words. Talk to these people, interview them, watch them, listen to them talk to each other. Go to chat rooms and online forums. See what people are saying. Listen to the emotion. Find these people and talk to them, draw them out more, understand those moments. What is this problem? Why is it so important? Then let's ask the where question. Location, context, with whom? You know, where is it happening? In location, or also even in the universe of this person's experience. What's the context? What else is going on at the same time? You know, we may even go into some of the other questions we've already talked about. Who's there when it happens? You know, what's going on when it's happening? And then let's ask when. When is the time? And it could be a time of day. It could be a stage in someone's life. But what are the key things that you need to understand about the when of this problem so that you can properly position the product? You may have the best solution in the world to this customer's problem, but if it's not presented at the right moment, they won't be able to use it. Then answer why. More context. What are the root causes? What are the exacerbating factors? What is the why of this problem? Was there a time when it didn't take place? Are there people that it doesn't affect that are very similar to your customer? Why doesn't it affect those people? Why does it affect your customer? Why does it affect your customers so deeply? Why does it affect other people less or in a different way? Or why do they react differently to it? And then finally, how? How does it all happen? What's the web of events that leads to the need? What are the things that happen in those moments before the need happens? Who's involved in making these things happen? How can you understand the complete mechanism, almost like a watch? If you opened up a watch, you see all the sprockets, and some of them turn others, and some of them turn other sprockets as well. And there's this intricate sort of motion inside the watch. Understand all of those sprockets and how they move each other and how it impacts your customer. Now, it's important once you have this persona, remember, you're going to be wrong, but you're going to get less wrong every time you iterate on this. Test that persona. Test its number one use to you as a product. As a product, this persona for you is to help you go out and source customers. Take this customer persona in your hand, go out into the world, either literally or figuratively, and try to source these customers that you're trying to get. Were you successful in finding people that you can show your product concept and actually get them to do the thing you expect them to do as a result? If you're unsuccessful sourcing these customers, you're either getting the wrong customers or you're just not getting anybody. Revisit your theory of the problem first, go all the way to the back where you started. Then look at your customer persona, understand if there are any disconnects there. What am I missing? What are the people that I thought were my customers saying to me when I asked them if they were my customer? Why was I wrong? And what does that tell me about where I need to be able to go to move forward? Now, if you are successful using this persona, don't stop there. Remember, your initial one's just a stake in the ground, and it's something that's constantly changing. Refine that persona with every customer you come in contact with, so you can continue to learn forward and continue to test your prototypes and continue to get higher in fidelity with those prototypes as the stakes are less because you've got a better quality customer. So now it's your turn. What's the next step for you? Well, a great first step for anything for an early stage entrepreneur is to start with the Lean Canvas. And there's lots of great resources out there to learn the Lean Canvas. But starting with number 1 and number 2, as you see here in the upper right, is a great place to start to help understand who your customer is, what their problem is, and what you need to build to be able to move into that value proposition and start to test it. Building that customer persona so you can go out and actually source those customers. There's lots of great resources online, lots of different ways to express these personas. I encourage you to go out and look. It's very, very quickly you can see dozens of different templates. Pick one that suits the situation you're in, that allows you to craft a customer that helps you best to go out and actually source them. And if that tool doesn't work the first time around, maybe look at a different one. Understand where that tool may have let you go a little wrong. I don't recommend any one over another. For me personally, I just kind of go through the 5 W's and H and start to build it in my mind. And then I just start to kind of draw it out on a piece of paper. But for you right now, start filling out the Lean Canvas, get yourself that persona, go out and test that persona. And that's our talk tonight. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to talk with you and find out what's going on for you, what's challenging you, and what successes you're having. Don't hesitate to reach out, and thank you so much for watching.